Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is me, your brother, your friend, Human Steven on the show. We are still on the case of our dear sister, Faith Aigbe, who was found dead in the Lazarus ROS 350 belonging to one Mr. Friday Ogeriaki, the substantive Enoge of our community in the Bobaoka local government area of Edo State. And a few days ago, even up to yesterday, the Naijawatch team, in collaboration with Citizens of Edo State, are still doing much, to actually unveil the circumstances surrounding the death of that very particular innocent girl. Please, guys, I want you to share this video as far as you can, please. It's going to be a call that I will request for, in order for us to actually unveil the entire circumstances surrounding all that have been happening, in Edo State. I want to say something before I continue. The reason why we are doing this, particularly with the Naijawatch family, is not because we want to discredit the autopsy report that was being paraded on the social media and other traditional media spaces. Not that we are trying to disrespect, the dead or whatever. But what we're trying to do, we're trying to make something very clear that the Edo State that we were born in had grown beyond people using their illicit wealth to suppress the truth and justice. And that is why we are doing what we are doing today right now. We are trying to make a point that what is happening today is to actually give a very clear, straight evidence to the world that we have woken up from our slumber as a people. We have decided to take the bull by the horn and to correct every abnormality that be happening in our state. And thank God for social media who are actually giving us, the weapon to actually speak out when we will not be given such an opportunity, on the traditional, media space. Okay, guys. Now, I came out a few days ago when the very day the autopsy was being carried out, that's about 3 days ago, to say what they said as at that point in time. And by the journalist rules and regulation, as a journalist that we are right now, we have the right to do that because it is called pre-investigative information that we can easily give out to the public, just to assess the public of the present situation of the case. And because the public wants to get reports from us on a daily basis. And after that I said that was going to be my last, on that very particular case until the autopsy result is out. And if you guys remembered, I said on that the moment the autopsy result is out, I am going to actually bring it back here to the Naijawatch YouTube, that we are going to place it on our wall so that the world will see, the end result of what has actually transpired. And having said that, yesterday, my brother, my friend, Faith Aigbe, raised up the case again because we are actually interested in the case. And a caller called him who was actually part and parcel of this case from the beginning. And at the end of the day, the family of the girl we are now put into the show. And what actually makes me to do this show right now is because of what I had. The man said, because just truly, I do not actually watch these traditional media houses in Edo or in Nigeria, except channels sometimes when it involves politics. Apart from that, I don't watch AIT, I don't watch ITV, I don't watch EBS, I don't watch any of this, traditional media, because I know their journalism has become a cash and carry. Okay, guys, that's what I believe. So because of that, I don't have the time, the energy to sit in front of these guys and actually watch them, because their journalism has become a cash and carry. If you don't have money, you can't get justice. That's what they are doing. And we saw what the EBS did, from the beginning of the case, coming up to say, oh, this girl case was just she was pregnant, the mother did an abortion, blah 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 blah, and they heap all the blame on the mother. So I don't really watch that. So when the guy said the public relation officer of the police, the PR of the police in Edo State, has already done a press conference claiming that Faith Aigbe died of an ectopic pregnancy. When I heard that, I was a little bit furious. You guys knew the show was late in the night. I would have been out that night, but I felt, let me just wait till the morning so that I can be able to actually get myself down. I don't come here and be yelling and maybe insulting and using all those foul words because of my state yesterday. I was pissed off. I'm going to tell you why I was pissed off. Now, I will try to explain one or two things. Then it will buttress the point why you see me do this right now. One of our friend, our brother also, who is also a concerned citizen in Edos State, who actually had so much interest in it, and with our sister, we actually, those people who actually saw when the late Faith Aigbe's body was torn open, by the doctor. And when the doctor torn open the body, the doctor found, the effectors outside, the uterus. Okay, or we'll call the fellowship to or the womb. We find the effectors outside the uterus, and the doctor presumed. That one of the numerous causes of Faith Aigbe's death might be one of the different causes, of Faith Aigbe's death might be as a result of what he saw. Because autopsy is a process that takes time. But having seen what was there, the doctor concluded that maybe the death of Faith Aigbe might be as a result of this. So that was just an oral communication, one of the numerous causes. So that is not a concluded investigation or an autopsy. Just like the brother said yesterday, and the doctor told them the autopsy result will be out in 3 weeks' time, which is not even up to a week since this very particular autopsy was carried out. Okay, guys? That's number one. Number two, when an autopsy result is presented to the police or any investigative body that is carrying out an investigation on a murder case, the first thing they do, even the doctor do, is to make the families of the deceased present the family of the accused present, and the investigative team to be present. And when that is done, guys, the autopsy result is sealed. And it will be handed over to the investigative team, knowing the family of both sides. Now, when the result is about to be read by the doctor, it will be done in the presence. If even, guys, it will be done in the presence of both families, because the police or anyone that is investigating the case do not have the legal rights, because they do not understand the terms and conditions written in that very particular autopsy. It is the doctor, just like what I've seen in many cases, that explains to the police the bits and bytes of the information that is in that very particular document. So when he said it yesterday, I was like, okay, what is the issue right now? Is somebody trying to actually do everything humanly possible to end this case? Somebody fighting tooth and nail to put an end to this whole investigation? Is the police doing everything humanly possible to exonerate the accused? Is money already flying in the air to make sure that justice is not served? What is the reason behind the rush by the Nigerian Police Command in Edo State to organize a press conference relating a statement that was orally, verbally made to them as a conclusion to the investigation on the murder case of Faith Aigbe? The ectopic pregnancy might be one of many reasons that led to the death of that innocent lady. Why is the police not actually doing something a little bit more and more to find out what actually transpired? Was there any form of eruption? Was there any form of eruption when Faith Aigbe corpse was torn open by the doctor? Was there any form of internal bleeding when this very particular corpse was disseminated? Have they looked at the possible cause of her death as a result of suffocation in the car where she was kept for hours before they finally found out which of the vehicles she was locked in? Have the police decided to ask, why was there excrete in the car? Why was this lady swimming in her excreta right in the car? Have the police been able to find out why was this very girl nude, without no panties, no bra, just a top that was to her waist when she was found in the car. And the wrapper that was in the car was not even on her body. Based on the claim of the Enogi that this lady collapsed, and he took her to a first hospital where she was rejected before he drove down to Central Hospital in Sapele Road, Benin City. Had the Nigerian police actually gone to this hospital to do a proper investigation to ask if actually such a corpse or such a patient was brought in there alive or dead? I've actually thought to think if there are other issues that actually led to the untimely death of Faith Aigbe, apart from the ectopic pregnancy, which by my calculation is just 2 weeks, 2 months and some weeks old. And based on what I've studied today, what I've tried to put up today, that also it is risky if not managed. Have the Nigerian police tried to ask this Enogi of a guy the voice note? They are not saying, oh, the guy died of ectopic pregnancy. But this guy once told you guys that she had an abortion of an 8-month-old. Because sometimes I get a little bit worried how the Nigerian system is now operating today. Somebody misled you during your investigation until the social media space took over the case and cried foul. If we have actually kept quiet, because the first interview that the Naijawatch channels went to when this same PRO was investigated, he reaffirmed the statement, the confessional statement of this Enogi guy. As the truth as at that time, that she was pregnant and the mother went and aborted. As allegedly said, that was his statement. Now that there is another evidence, number one, that the doctor said what he has shown there was never an abortion at any point in time. Not in the past, neither in the present, before the demise of Faith Aigbe. I would have expected by now the first case that the Nigerian police will be thinking in their head, why did Friday Ogeriaki, the Enogi of Uho, to have deceived the Nigerian police? I expected by now the thought of the Nigerian police would have been, what was the brain behind Friday Enogi, the Friday Ogeriaki, the Enogi of Uho, to have come up with a cooked voice note, which he presented to the media and the police as an evidence that Faith Aigbe actually did an abortion few days before her demise. You understand, guys, that the case of Faith Aigbe goes beyond just being dead alone. Or the case of Faith Aigbe go beyond what the autopsy will say that death was natural. There is a twist already on the case from 8-month-old pregnancy aborted to a 2 months and few weeks pregnancy that is still in the womb of the lady before her demise. And the police came out and began to say what they were told, not documented on a paper. It is only in the Nigerian police setting that I see they conclude the investigation before the investigation. They already concluded an investigation before the investigation is being concluded. It baffles some of us. How they have destroyed the reputation and the integrity of the Nigerian security system. All because of the few monies that they're going to get. They have no value for sanity anymore. Justice have been buried. A lot of biasness on the street. The money bags are now in control of who gets justice or who do not get justice. How can the Edo State Police Command fall into this gimmick of allowing themselves to be used by some group of people into wanting to subvert justice for this girl? How can you conclude, based on an oral discussion you had with the doctor, based on the first instant of what the doctor saw, to have been the end result of the autopsy? Why the phonetic, postmortem autopsy is still being awaited? Which nation, which country in the world does that? Which country in the world actually does that, guys? Which country in the world actually does that? I did some research today, guys. I did some research today. I don't want to speak here alone or look as if that is my assumption. That's what I think. That's what I believe. So I need to do a screenshot of some research that I did that I'm about to present to you guys, and also to read from it so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Because this case is going to be one case. I want to say a very big thank you to Naijawatch team for fighting for justice. I want to say you guys are really making Edo proud. Okay, guys. I want to say that you guys are making Edo proud, and we are really proud of every one of you for what you guys are doing, for the Edo people. Okay. And I want to thank the CEO of Naijawatch Naijawatch media team, Mr. Faith Aigbe, for your doggedness, for your stand for justice for your people, for making Edo a better place. Your name will be left in the sand of time for what you're doing for Edo people. That you're the truth guy. So just continue to do what you're doing. Do never shift from it. Just do this. I'm going to tell you, with time, you will be remembered for every step you've taken to bring normalcy, to Edo State. You're doing a lot. People might criticize you, but I am one hell of a guy that will continue to support you for what you are doing for our people. Okay, everybody have left this case. Nobody talks about this case. It has been you and you and you alone. During the land grabbing issue, it has been you and you alone. I know how many petitions you have submitted, to the Edo State government, to the State House of Assembly, to the police on people's behalf, without them not even giving you a kobo for the work you are doing. We know that. So sometimes we need to speak up. I know how you've gone to communities, with your team to find out issues that is happening and there and here, and you bring them on the show to educate, to enlighten the people, to draw the attention of the government, to some of the issues that is happening around. We know this, so we are appreciative of this. We might not be able to pay you in return, but the appreciation is there. And I believe your name, will be written sometime, in gold when the time comes, when the right people who actually see the need to appreciate you for your good, when they would have, come into the saddle of leadership. Okay, God. So please just continue doing it. We appreciate you, and we believe strongly that with time, the world we celebrate you for your stand for truth, justice, and fairness for your people. Having said that, I decided to go this morning to check some meanings of some words. So that will help me to actually deal on the issue that is at hand today. Okay, why the Edo in diaspora are requesting for another round of autopsy on Faith Aigbe's cup. Because we are beginning to get a little bit suspicious. So we are calling on the Nigerian police. We are calling on the family of Faith Aigbe that we, the Edos in diaspora, we want another round of autopsy that will be done by an independent body, even outside the state, to ascertain the true cause of Faith Aigbe's death. The reason why is this: the police is already putting the cart before the horse, and that is giving us a lot of worries. We were ready to lay this whole case to rest until we saw the video that was played where they were explaining that this was the cause of Faith Aigbe's death, which they've not really gotten the final report of the autopsy to know what actually the autopsy said. It means they have already, they concluded their case. Then it's become a little bit worrisome for those of us who wanted justice. That might be one of the cause, yes, based on what we have known. But the other thing is this: are there other reasons that actually, quicken or fasting are dead? Because many people have called me who have actually had this ectopic pregnancy. It's not like it's a killer thing. If it's well being managed, and even when you collapse, you can be able to actually get an emergency operation, and you'll be fine. A woman just wrote somewhere, I read now, it said when her own happened, she was vomiting. There are some symptoms. There are some symptoms that will happen. Please go to Google, read this up. That's the way we can be able to defeat, the greed and the shabby nature of our people. So let me put up what is an autopsy. That's the first I'm going to see. What is an autopsy? He said an autopsy is a surgical procedure that consists of a thorough examination. Underlined. An autopsy is a surgical procedure that consists of a thorough examination of a corpse by dissection to determine the cause, mode, and manner of death, or to evaluate any disease or injury that may be present for research or educational purposes. That's an autopsy. An autopsy is a surgical procedure that consists of a thorough examination. As this very particular corpse be thoroughly examined before the conclusion of the Nigerian police. And then the medical team that will not ascertain what actually happened to the corpse. How did they come to the conclusion? Is it just a verbal statement? If something different now happens, how are they going to reconcile? They've made the first blunder. with the EBS news. Now they are making another blunder without not even trying to correct the first blunder that was made by EBS. That it girl died of complications that emanated from the 8 months pregnancy that the mother took her to do. Nobody's talking about it anymore. This people are beginning to get worried. This people are beginning to get a little bit, stressed up. In the first video that came out, the mother was lambasted. She was painted bad. An audio came despite the 8 months old pregnancy was a verbal confession from this guy. But he came to buttress his point with an evidence. An audio evidence carrying the assumed voice of Faith Aigbe. I think the police should be talking about that right now. But they're silent about it. That's why we are worried. There's those of us who want justice are worried. He also made another very strong evidence that Faith was 8 months pregnant by showing a room that was filled with baby things. But the autopsy revealed that Faith was never pregnant before that time. If she was, it would have been noticed. The Nigerian police is not also trying to investigate the statement that was made by this boy that he had not seen Faith since she left his house with 8 months old pregnancy until 3 days or so before her demise. But based on the autopsy that was carried out, it was shown that Faith was 2 months and some weeks pregnant. I expected the Nigerian police to have asked the doctor to do a DNA on the fetus to know who actually fathered the child. If even, underline, if even the cause of death was natural, there are many false claims on the confession of the Enoge of war, which requires a thorough investigation to actually ascertain the reason behind him lying to the law. A man will not lie until he has something he's hiding. I expect the police not to be jumping up and down right now when there are many investigations to be done surrounding the death of that young lady. But rather, they just concluded the case and about to throw the case into the garbage of history. As one case again that they never actually work on properly. Please, guys, share this video. Please, guys, share this video, please. Please, guys, share this video. It's very important for us right now. We are no more in the Stone Age. We are now in the 21st century, where every one of us is now able to investigate cases, particularly murder case, based on new technologies that have been put before us. Now, there's another case, another thing again I got. I had to check. I checked what is an autopsy, and I had to now check what is an autopsy report to actually know if the Nigerian police are doing the right thing or not. And what did I get? An autopsy report are medical legal document. Look at it now. An autopsy reports are medical legal document that not only report the anatomic findings of the postmortem examination, but which also provide detailed, look at it, guys. An autopsy report are medical legal documents that not only report the anatomic findings of the postmortem examination, but which also provide detailed clinical pathological colorations. Anything less greatly diminish the value and the utility of the autopsy examination. Anything less, I'm not the one that said this now. You can go it up. Anything less than this has greatly devalued, greatly diminished the value. Anything less than what I have read in the first phase has greatly diminished or devalued. Diminishes the value and the utility of the autopsy examination. Guys, 1 minute. Hello.
Require the situation, and immediately I said something in respect of this issue, that anything that is involved that can be proved medically don't need much noise about. Okay, they don't need noise about it. But I was just hearing you now telling us that this man said the girl was pregnant 8 months. No, I didn't hear from him like that. What I heard was that she did an abortion of a duly, and that's 8 months abortion. That's what he said on TV. Meaning the abortion was done before. Okay. And I also understood that the girl played a voice message to this man, telling him that she's not too fine, that she's sorry for what she did without informing him, that the doctor said it's like it's very dangerous something she did, that her body is very, very fresh and fragile. I have that video. I still have that video with that audio with me. And now the police has come out to say that the autopsy, whether they go in details or they did it the wrong way, there's no point. If the police say this is what they want, the family has rights to call for autopsy, a private autopsy from a private doctor. Very simple. So let them cry out. What about advice, please? Instead of us, you don't need even to argue with the police. Well, this is your autopsy. It happens here in Europe. You leave it with it. You know how it works. If anything is carried out by a public hospital and the private disagree with it, you can call for a private autopsy on your own. And as far as the person you are calling, the hospital you are going, is registered and is authorized to carry out such things.
Sir,
it's not yet buried.
Paito, sir, let me just correct something here.
Yeah.
You know, on the day of the autopsy, our team were there, which you also belong to. These concerned citizens, they were there on ground. Okay?
Yeah.
When she was torn open, they saw the fetus outside the womb, which we have already explained in our subsequent video, which was the ectopic pregnancy of 2 months and some weeks. So that was all. So some particles, which they normally do, was taken. So the doctor told the police there that this might be one of the cause of her death. So what I'm trying to say is, for the police to have concluded that this is the cause of her death, when they've not gotten a certified document, a medical, legal documents to back up that claim, which is called the autopsy report, is my point. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, sir. We are not arguing about if a death was natural or not. We are trying to say that things should be done in a very normal way in our society. When you go for an autopsy takes about 3 weeks to 1 month for you to get the result. Because they have to take her through some, some machines and to get actually what is the final cause of a death. But for a gate to be torn open, and in less than 1 hour, the police have now said, okay, based on what the man saw, because we all know that ectopic pregnancy is a very risky pregnancy that can actually lead to death. And I said, okay, if this is what is happening here, this might be one cause of the major cause to a death. So that does not mean if even the police were told, the journalists can come up with such a news, but not the police. It is not in the police, position to have concluded the case when they have not received a legal document. If the mother of the girl is quite wealthy today, they can sue the police to court. But because they don't have the financial capability to do that, they have to keep quiet. Because you don't presume a case until it is final logical conclusion. That's what the law says, sir. That is the point we are trying to buttress.
Yeah, but if I can come in here, when did they carry out the autopsy when you were there, when they opened her body out?
When?
When was the autopsy?
It's just this week. It's this week. It's just this week. It's about 3 days or 4 days ago, sir.
Okay. I saw a statement made by the public relations officer of the Edo State Police Command.
Yeah.
Now, it's very simple. The body is still lying on state, right? It's still in the mortuary.
Yes, it's still in the mortuary, yeah.
Okay. My advice is very clear. I will repeat again now. Even though you are a rich man, there's no way you take the police force to court and defeat them easily, especially in a developing society like Nigeria. We know that. But there are other things you have right over. Even though we cannot make them to pay for it or punish the person responsible for it, but let the truth be said. Now, what our advice is that you know this family. Place them on talk to Naijawatch. Place them on your forum, on the forum, your live forum here. Let them tell us that they disagreed. They disagreed with the autopsy. They intend to bring out another autopsy. Make a request to the hospital and the police that they intend to do a private autopsy, calling up a doctor from Lagos, from anywhere in Nigeria, to a private autopsy to be done outside the one that was done. Totally.
Yeah.
If the finance is a problem, it is the finance is a problem. That is where the family comes to us on the public. We will donate. I can also use my platform to raise for her. Anybody can support us on that. Just to get it fast.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, sir. No. Epa. Let me say something here now. We are not putting accusing figure. We are trying to tell the police, you don't put the cart before the horse. That's what we are doing right now. We are not arguing with the autopsy result, whether it is wrong or right. But I am saying, before you, as a public relations officer of a police, we stand before the media to end an investigative case without you not getting the legal document to back up your claim. Is tantamount to a cash out.
It's not even in position to read that autopsy to us.
Beautiful, sir.
The police is in the wrong to carry it out.
That's what I'm saying now. That's my point. So, what we are doing, we are not after the case. Like, we are using the case as a case study to correct up the abnormalities that we are finding in our state today, where things are being done the opposite, in a sane climate. It gets some of us sick. So my problem is not about if the autopsy, like I said, the autopsy was not wrong. Even I did a video on the day the autopsy. I came out and said, this is what the autopsy said. Unfortunately, it has happened like this. Rest in peace, my dear. We ended the case. But when we started hearing that the police relations officer came out to say, oh, the autopsy, his result says Faith died of ectopic pregnancy, no natural death. I said, come on, guy. You've not gotten a result. You just did the autopsy 4 days or 5 days ago. The result is not out yet. How do you know? the doctor only just gave you his assumption based on what he saw as a medical doctor. So there might be other complications that you don't even know. So you coming out to conclude the case before the conclusion of the case is what we are saying we need to stop in our nation.
Okay. I got you totally wrong. I was totally wrong in your. Maybe I didn't follow from the beginning. Probably, but it was.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
Thanks,
right.
sir. Yeah. So, okay, guys. Now, so you see what I put up right now. What is an autopsy report? Does this actually tally with what we are seeing today in the case of this young lady? Have the public relations official actually gotten a medical legal document to back up the conclusion of this investigation before they will not go before the press? Because I think what they would have done when the press came to them is for them to tell them, yeah, we just did an autopsy and we are waiting for the final result. Not for them to have said, yeah, we saw the autopsy, we did the autopsy, and the autopsy says she died of a natural cause caused by ectopic pregnancy. When you do not have the legal document to back up this claim, it is tantamount to putting the cart before the horse. That is my problem. That is where I am coming from. So I'm not after what actually keeps what the doctor says. No, we want to be sure that every step along the line is carried out by the Nigerian police based on proper information. So because when information is not being sold in the way it is going now, then we'll start questioning the authenticity, the truthfulness behind the autopsy. Because the very first day the autopsy came out, I didn't want to complain. I remember I told somebody behind the scene, I said, I'm not even sure. I'm not a medical doctor. I said, I'm not even sure why the doctor will even say it is the pregnancy that killed the lady. Because when they told me, I went into try to, I go to do a lot of research. I said, I'm not even sure. But not to presume. That's okay. If that's what the doctor says, we'll wait. We'll come out and also tell the people this is where the position we are now. And after we have done that, we'll just wait for the autopsy final result, which I said we're going to present to the public also, because this has been a public case. Then when I saw them now, putting journalists together, and the PRO is now reading, I said, in the first place, who gave you the power? It is the doctor that had the right to tear open that very particular envelope that has that final result and read it before the presence of the two families involved and every concerned citizens involved in the case. Such a case is carried out to be read under a world press conference situation because the case has become a global case. It's not more an indie case. It's a case where every part and parcel of the world is already aware. The entire social media space have been whitewashed by that case. So, but what we saw, even the family were not even aware they were called to go and hear what was being said on EBS after the news had been broadcast. The owner of the corpse, the one that is fighting for justice, was not called in when you were attending to a world press conference on a case of such magnitude. This is where we are having issues today. Okay, guys. Now, let's look at another thing again that I put here. A postmortem. So a postmortem examination, also known as an autopsy, is the examination of a body after death. Look, I said, the aim of a postmortem is to determine the cause of the death. Postmortem provide useful information about how. Number one, a postmortem produces information about how, when, and why someone died. A postmortem, which also autopsy provides when, how, and why. Guys, this has been my question. These three questions had been my question from the beginning. When did Faith die? When? Based on the Enoge claim, Enoge said Faith died in his car before he got to the hospital. The autopsy needs to prove to us, when did Faith die? Because the mother said Faith, after they called them, and when she got to the hospital, it took her 7 hours before the vehicle was allowed to be broken open by the police. So, plus and minus, the people who brought Faith in would have taken another 1 hour to and fro if there was no traffic on the way. That makes it 8 hours. And I'm also very sure the people who called the mother did not call the mother instantaneously. They would have sat down, maybe they were confused, assuming. That also might take another 1 hour. That's already 9 hours. So if it is 9 hours, now when did Faith collapsed at the Enoge's palace? When was she rushed into the hospital? Into Enoge's vehicle? And when was she ascertained to have died in the vehicle by the Enoge? Added to the 10 hours based on, the reality on ground. When? Number two, what the autopsy needs to provide is, how did she die? We have already gotten one, which, simply put, she had a fetus outside the uterus after the fallopian tube. That's one. Was that actually the cause? We don't know yet until a proper clinical investigation is done to ascertain if that was the truth or not. But that may be a liable cause because of the risk involved in this very particular kind of pregnancy. Okay? When, how, and number three, why? Why? Why did she have to die? Was it because there was an eruption from the fetus? If that was it, what causes the eruption? Was it because it was natural? Because we were told by science that ectopic pregnancy can go between 0 weeks to 4 months. 0 day to 4 months. Okay? Before it can become dangerous. So this was just 2 weeks and 2 months and some few weeks, according to the doctor. So the question is, why did she die? How did she die? And when did she die? That is what we want to know. We are not accusing Mr. Enoge as the cause of Faith Aigbe's death. Guys, get this clearly. We are not accusing the police now, or even trying to play a fast one on the Edos and Faith Aigbe's family. We are only telling them to give us the right information that is surrounding the death of this young lady. Not an assumption. Because with what we've just seen now, everything's already muddy in secrecy and in deception. We are the concerned citizens of Edo State. We are worried right now to actually believe or accept what is about to come before us. We don't even want anybody to die. I don't want the Enoge to die for no reason. No. He loved Faith. We all know that. I've said it in many of my videos. It is clear he loved her. We know that. But what transpired that make him to become scared are things that the police needs to find out. This goes beyond the ordinary high, guys. Okay, guys? This goes beyond the ordinary highs. This goes beyond the ordinary highs, guys. Because these are questions I'm asking. These are questions I'm asking. This is what another person asks again. These are questions I'm asking. These are questions that I want to get an answer to. These are questions I want to get an answer to. I don't know why I want to get an answer to these questions. Somebody should not tell me he was scared. She is your wife, for goodness sake. She lived in your house, for goodness sake. You proved to us that she actually had a room with baby things in your house. I don't think, like I said, there was a time here, I said it in one of my videos a few days ago. My own wife, she suffered leukemia, cancer of the blood. After the therapy, she collapsed. She was gone. But the heart was still pounding, breathing. Medical people know what I'm talking about. I said it before. I didn't just run away. I called in an ambulance. Rushed into an ambulance. Then the doctors came, everybody came, they started putting the level of things on her body. The truth is, my wife actually passed out physics, which is a signal that was going to be the last of her. But we fought. Rushed her back to the hospital. There were over 25 doctors and nurses around her. All kind of, whatever was fixed, on her body. Before she regained consciousness after about 3 hours of them battling with her. She's hale and healthy today. If you go to my Facebook, you're going to see her. She's beautiful. She doesn't look like one that I've ever felt sick before. I have experienced some of this. It might not be what she went through, but I've also experienced a situation whereby the one you loved collapsed to the point that you thought she was dead. I never ran away. Even, God forbid, she was dead, I wouldn't run. Because she is mine. We share something very unique together. A woman you loved, you said you were scared, you locked her in your car and went to the police station. People are not looking at this. How many of us who are married, we do that to our wives? She wasn't your side chick. You said she was 8 months pregnant for you. You bought baby things. And yet you said you went to Lobo and you gave yourself up to the police. And before you came out, please, I don't want to go into that right now because I'm a little bit pissed off right now. Look at it, said the police information to the public in regard the medical evidence is inconclusive. This shows there is more to her death than they are telling the public. This is also my take. This is also my take. That's why I'm crying out right now. The family can't do some of these things we are doing right now. We'll help them to do what we are doing. Okay, guys. Now, while I was going through the net, I got this. I don't know if you guys are going to see that, but I'm going to just put it up. I got this, and I tried to zoom it out. So these are the different types. These are the different types of ectopic pregnancy. There's not even one. These are the different types of ectopic pregnancy, not even one. Okay, guys? Not even one. There are different types. As the medical report proved to us. Because guys, man, listen. I'm not a doctor, but there are things I do not want people to be what's it called? To be, oppressed because some people has money. We've gone past that era. Even before, the doctor must tell us which type of ectopic pregnancy that Faith had. Because each of them had different risk and possibilities of death rate. Each of them. This is what you can study, guys. Because when you want to go into what we are doing, that's why I tell you, we on Naijawatch YouTube, even Paito there is my bros. It's my senior brother. Okay? We on Naijawatch YouTube, we actually goes deep into investigation. We don't just come up based on information that we hear. We try to do more, underground work. That was why when I went to the family of the girl, I spoke with them. Then I was planning with my brother, Leftist Amamosa, to actually visit the community of the Nogi. But before I would try to put it didn't work, then my flight time was up. I left Nigeria. But yet, even despite I left, he still went on to do his own findings on the Nogi. And we present the two as if that was the truth. That's what we presented the two cases as if both cases were true. That's how we are operating. If you check the titles on most of our shows, it's as if this side is true, this side is true. We have never been one-sided in our operation. But those of us who are the analysts who analyzes cases that comes to us, like what I do, is to now sit down, watch the two cases, and now try to explain to the general public what I think. That is my job. That is the job I do for Naijawatch. I analyze cases when they come, particularly on both sides. I look at this one, watch it to the end, look at it, then I sit down to put my own thoughts down, and I try to come up to the show and give it to my people. It's not left for my people to believe me or not. On this case right now, that's why I came up as okay. Having defined what an autopsy is, having defined what a postmortem is, having defined what an autopsy report is, that's okay. Let's now look at this very particular case that is now trending, the ectopic pregnancy. When I started studying this, I found that there are different kinds. There are multiple different kinds of the ectopic pregnancy. We thought it was one. That's what I thought. No, and I said, no, I need to do search. I need to check something. Now, there are different kinds. Okay? We have the ischemic ectopic pregnancy, which has about 5 to 10% chances of happening. We have the interstitial or the corneal ectopic pregnancy, which has about 2.5% of occurring. We have now have the tubaric ampullar ectopic pregnancy, which is the most common of all of them all, which has about 80% of occurring. So and many other. We have the ovaric ectopic pregnancy, which is about 0.15 to 3% chances of occurring. We now have the one we call the intramural myometra or peritoneal ectopic pregnancy, which is less than 1% chances of occurring. We now have the abdominal ectopic pregnancy, which is 1.3% chances of occurring. We now have what we call the cervical ectopic pregnancy. Okay, which is really, really difficult to even happen at all. So we want to know some of these facts. Thank God, science has made, internet has made science a little bit more easier, even for the layman to actually who wants to actually study, to go deep and get information out. Yeah. They did their best. And also, there was a prompt response from me. Because when she collapsed, it was a terrible scene for me. I didn't run away. I immediately had to call the ambulance. Even when they came in, they asked me, was she talking? I said, no. Was she dead? I said, I told them she's not dead. Even when I knew she wasn't breathing anymore. That was the issue. Because if you love someone, you can't leave the person even when they say the man or the woman is dead. I don't even know. I can't. I will do everything to be sure that what they told me is the truth. We have watched it on many occasions when our loved one died. We say, no, daughter, you can't die. You need to wake her up. You need to wake him up. We'll start yelling around the hospital, tearing apart every part of the hospital, ready to even go to jail just to see that this person is alive. That has been my take from the beginning. There was no emotional connection. As at that point, that has been my mode of suspiciousness. This is my opinion. It's not about just looking at the case alone. And the way and manner they are not trying to fast track the entire thing and close its case up is making my suspiciousness to be more and more realistic. That's my case, guys. That's my problem right now. Guys, please, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But I just want you guys to understand my point. Now today, I'm not on the Ogiriaki, the Onogi. Today, I am on the Nigerian police for calling a press conference to an inconclusive autopsy. You can just talk when they come to ask, oh, we heard that Faith has gone, they've done Faith. Yeah, we actually went for the autopsy and we are still waiting for the results. Because the investigation is still ongoing. We have not concluded, the investigation. We're still waiting for the result. That ends it. The media will go. Then you will conclude your investigation. Okay, guys. Please, guys. I don't know if my if today my If I'm making sense to you guys, if I'm making sense to you guys, if I'm making sense to you guys, can you people just say yes? If I make sense today on this, I might be wrong. That's why, like, I'm one hell of a guy who takes responsibility for every of my actions or inactions. So I might be wrong on this. Maybe because, like I said, I'm not a doctor. So if there is a doctor on the show, please, you can call in. If you have a doctor here watching me right now, please, you can call in. We want to get your opinion on this. How does the autopsy result works? How does the autopsy result works? Do you take the verbal report of the doctor that carries out the autopsy without not even going through the process as the end result? The answer is no. We only accept that in Nigeria. If you go to Europe, you say you are sick. They ask you some questions. The next thing they do for you to run you for some tests. They don't give you chloroquine or any other, antibiotics at all. They first of all run you from some tests to ascertain what's actually wrong with you. Okay, the way that is done, then they will now decide on what to do, the kind of drugs they need to give to you. That's how it's done. So they might just look at you, look at your eye and say, okay, maybe you have some symptoms of this or that, but they will still say, we need to carry out tests to ascertain the true cause of your sickness. Then they will not come out, take your blood sample, urine, wherever, and to ascertain your taste. Okay? So when the result now comes out, then they will now call you back and now tell you the kind of drugs that you need to take as a result of the test that you've carried out. Okay, guys? So this is how it works. So also in the same autopsy, the doctor has the right to preassume, but it is an oral statement that cannot be heard or submitted in a competent court of law. That's my statement. That if the family decide to go further with the case, the statement can be heard as an evidence in a competent court of law because it is a verbal statement, not written down or signed by the doctor. An autopsy is not just I talk, you talk. It's a phonetic medical examination that requires proper screening and scrutinization before the final result is out. So if that is the case, if even somebody tells you this is what I think was the cause of her death, and seeing it there, it shows clearly that this might be, we as journalists might carry the information. But you who are the investigative officers of the case do not speak until you have the authentic result. To be sure. So that when you are not be dragged, you will be able to provide the necessary document to back up your claims. This is how it ought to be. But in a situation whereby you have already concluded listen, guys, you know why I'm a little bit upset with the Nigerian police on this case? It was actually the parents of the girl that alerted the Nigerian police at the command there at Saple Road and then at Edenya. And it took them hours. You all also know that when the police came, because I've not actually said all this before. I wanted the case to end before I will now actually deal on the attitudes of the Nigerian police. They have a very, very bad attitude towards crime in our society. The woman paid for the towing van that carried the car from the central hospital to the Nigerian police station. The woman went to the police command at Saple Road, and they told her to go to Edenya. In this country where I live in Sweden, and most of you that live abroad, any police station can answer your case. I remember I had a case with somebody in Obi. I had a case with somebody in Obi. But the police that was handling my case was in Flemingsbury. Some of you that knows Stockholm very well. They were not even in the same commune. I had a problem with someone in Albi, one of my tenants. But the police that was handling the case, the boy did not report me in Albi. The boy reported me in Flemingsbury. And I was summoned to Flemingsbury police station to answer queries. So the woman first of all went to them at the command there. They refused hearing a case, saying that very particular area is not under their jurisdiction. She should go to Edenya. Somebody is telling you of a child being locked in the car. And the security of the hospital is saying she can't break the door of the car. She narrated this, and yet you still told her she is not this place. This place is not the jurisdiction. Go to the other place. She now went to Edenya. They now came with her, and she told her, you can't break the door or the glass in this place. We need to tow the car away. And someone was in the car, locked up in the car. Guys, if Nigerian judiciary is actually Nigerian judiciary, the police on duty, when Faith's mother, our Faith family went to the command, and the one that was on duty at Edenya that told her that she cannot break the glass of the car until the car is towed away from that premises should be behind the bar. I've not talked about this before because I wanted the whole case to end, but they are now making us to fast forward. There have been a lot of lukewarmness, a lot of lackadaisical attitudes on the part of the Nigerian police. This actually led to the NSAS that erupted last year, the same time last year, that engulfed the entire nation, nearly grounding Nigeria to a halt. The Nigerian police does not have a towing van. The mother of the guy to look around, gather money to get a towing van, and these people were sat down, relaxed, not feeling concerned. Until the towing van came, they had to tow the car from the hospital to the police station. Nobody knows how many minutes it took them to take her to the police station. And I'm very sure with the way the Nigerian police system is operating, they will not take the car into the police station and break the door immediately. They won't do that. They had to go through some bottleneck bureaucracy. Smiling, laughing, talking, shouting, doing all sorts of nonsense before they will come and get the door opened. Nobody. That's why I'm asking how, why, and when. Is three things that we need to find out. If even we are going for a private autopsy, these three things will be proved. How, why, when. That's what we want. That will ascertain what happened. If Faith actually collapsed based on her pregnancy condition, did she died instantaneously? Because I have spoken to about 10 persons. All of them told me they have gone through it, they survived it. They collapsed, they went to the hospital. It took them about 2 hours or so before operation was carried out on them. None of them died. None of them died. And you guys don't forget that that very particular vehicle, according to Faith's uncle, said it was a tinted glass, except only the front glass that was not tinted. Every part of that car was tinted, so you can't even see the body inside the car. If Nigeria is a sane society, the policeman that was on duty should be in jail by now. Even the security man who was on duty at the central hospital should be in jail by now. That's the truth. The security man who was also at the central hospital should be in jail by now. Have you seen a dead body inside the car? Have you seen a body inside the car? You still refuse the family of the girl to save the life of that girl. So there are many people that was, accomplice to the death of Faith Aigbe. We know it's a natural death right now. Okay? But there are many accomplices. We want to know when, why, how, particularly the when. The when is my concern right now on the autopsy. If we are doing an independent autopsy, we must ask for the when. Did this happen? When? That will help us very well. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Even here in Sweden, I even forgot that. There was a day in our shopping mall here. A dog was locked inside the car. The dog was jumping. And I think it's not even up to 20 minutes or so. Immediately they called the police in. Someone has already called the police. The police drove in and break the louvers of the car right at the shopping mall center. Right there at the shopping mall. And took with an ambulance. They came with an ambulance and took the dog into an ambulance. The policeman waited by the side of the car. And the moment the owner of the car came, they put handcuff on her hand and arrested her. Just a dog. Yeah, in my shopping mall, yeah. They put handcuff on her hand and arrested her. So that's why I said the security guard should be in jail by now. Should be arrested, should be questioning for accomplice. The policeman that was on duty when Faith Mother came to state command at Sapele Road by now should be under questioning. The policeman that followed first mother from Edenya police station to the hospital who said they can't break the glass of the car right in the hospital premises should be under questioning. The Dionoge who locked her in the car, even where dead or alive, should be under questioning. Listen, guys, I fight for justice. I don't have any personal grievances against anyone. So people should not see it as if maybe we have issues with, and we don't even know any of them. But our job is to see that we have a better idea where every one of us can go back to and feel okay. That's what we are fighting for. There are things that we are doing that's not even working. Like I said, even our doctors today, because that country is backward. That country is so backward. Our doctors are heartless. They are worse. They are worse. They are worse, guys. They are worse. Because me, many of you that know me, I hardly talk about what I do or what I don't do. That's my life. Because I feel that I'm not supposed to come to social media space and display everything that I do. People does that, but I'm not part of those group of people. Okay. But I'm going to say this to buttress a point here on our doctors also, which we also need to deal with. Because the Inoki said that he took the doctor down, and the doctor said she was dead. In a sane society, that they asked him to go and get a police report before they could take the corpse. Which I believe that's a lie. I'm going to prove that very soon. Before I prove that, let me deal with the doctor's issue first. There was a day I went to the hospital to see a friend who came from abroad. Actually, came from abroad. Let me not say the place so people will not try to find him and attach him to me. He was sick. I drove down there to see him. So why I just parked my car, I came out of the car. So I met a woman crying outside with heavy tummy. She was crying. I said, Mama, what did happen? She want born. She want born. Doctor not attend because they say she not pay deposit. So I just walked in and they went to the nurse and said, this woman here, she want to put to bed. Why is she not in the labor room or theater, wherever she ought to be? They said she has not paid. How much are they talking about now? 25,000 naira. 25,000 naira, guys. And the last one that was on me as cash was 20,000 naira. I said, okay, come on, just take this 20,000 now. I'm going to the other side of the road, to get the ATM or POS so that I can withdraw more money and come and pay you the bills. So when I gave them 20,000, man, SARS, that this bunch of idiots started running up and down, looking for a stretcher to carry this woman into the labor room. This happened in my state. Like I said, I don't really talk about what I do aside behind the scene. But this one came up. I came back. She was no more there. So I was worried. I was not scared. Maybe this woman don't die. That's what they do. When you die, that's when they will now come and carry your dead body and throw inside the fridge, and they'll still collect money from you. So I went to the lady that was on the counter. She was still there. I said, What about this woman that I just paid for? Say you would have taken her to the labor room. I was like, what? So it means you guys would have been here. I'm telling you, it didn't take 10 minutes because I had to run down and run back. My believing was they were not going to do anything until I paid the balance 5,000 naira. So I believe, oh, I don't know what's going to happen to this lady here right now. I don't know her condition. So I picked raise. So it didn't take me 10 minutes before I came back with the balance money. The lady was already at the what's it called? At the labor room. So I said, which kind? I told the guy, I said, what? You're a woman. You are a woman. One day, say, oh God, is the, what do you call it? Say, is the policy, that was the language he used, is the policy of the hospital. I say, eh? So, you people prefer the money than the life of these people. She would have just died if maybe nobody came to her rescue. And people, you know the worst, people were also actually passing by before I came, going to the hospital, coming out. This woman was yelling in pains, in labor pains at the entrance of the hospital. That's how bad even medical system is in Nigeria. They will shoot somebody. One idiot of a doctor, we ask them to go and get a police report. You have an accident, one nincompoop of a doctor, we ask you for a police report before you are being treated. And these guys are losing blood. They are dying. They will not want to attend to them. They have discontinued treating people just because of some few nairas that they could not afford to pay. They will discontinue the treatment. The health of this person will deteriorate to a point that the person will die. And these people will feel no remorse. Sometimes I just want to wonder, do we actually have a heart as Africans, as Nigerians, as Edolat, or our heart have been replaced with stone, that we are not moved by what is happening to our people? I don't know. I'm only alleging. Why will anyone even take a bribe on this case for whatsoever reason, knowing fully well life is involved? How many of these policemen, how many of these doctors, or those security men will be happy if this kind of incident happened to their daughter? This is a 26-year-old girl who had gone through the walls of a nursery school and graduated from the university. The time the parent was supposed to have enjoyed her, the cold arms of death took her away. And people are making weight on top of the grief. No, imagine but there's no law like that anymore. That law have been abolished. That law has been abolished. I can say it with every iota of fact. That law has been abolished. Because they've charged the police to court. The federal government have changed that. Treat first before police report. Treat a case first before police report. What they do is, you that brought the person to the hospital must sign an undertaking with your identity card. In case anything happens to the person, you will be the one that the police will look for. The law will change, but the problem with our people is just the criminality, the materialistic mindset that they need to pay for their staff. So if you die, doesn't matter to them. So all they want is they want the money, and nothing more. That law have changed. That I can tell you. During the NSAS time, that's where it was told. They were told that the law does not exist anymore. Treat first, then require for a report if there need be. Because it's only one that is alive that will need to get a report. You treat first. While you are treating, you can call the police. Or while one doctor is in the hospital doing the treatment, the nearby police can be called to ask to do investigation on why you had a bullet wound, on how you know people that have had an accident that died as a result of asking someone to go and get a police report for even an accident. Why? Is an accident now a criminal case? Guys, tell me. I want to know. I want to know, guys. I want to know your opinions on this. We have just 10 minutes to go. I want to know your opinions on this, guys. From what I said, I want to know your opinions on this. I want to know your opinions on this. Drop your opinions on this case. We want justice, not for just Faith alone. We want justice for every Edo person. We want justice for every Edo person. We want justice for every Edo person, not for just Faith alone. Every Edo person will want justice. That's what we are asking. We are requesting for another round of autopsy on Faith Aigbe's corpse. Just like Paito said, we are ready to finance it. If the autopsy gives all the same result like the first one, it's fine and good. But we want to make something clear that the Edos all over the world are tired of the system that is being operated in our state. Yes, man. This I know. This one happened to someone that is close to me now, man. Yeah, this I know. This one. They gave her a list when she was 5 months pregnant of what she's going to buy. Yes, this one, even this is even more than this one. Different list. Everything you are using in the hospital, you buy them. Everything. And yet you still pay close to 150,000 to 200,000 on delivery. I'm telling you, you will pay for registration of about 50,000 naira in private hospitals and 30,000 naira or so in government-owned hospitals. Then, when your delivery time is not getting near, they're going to give you a list of about 42 items. 42 items that you're going to buy. Before you can go to the labor, you must present them before you can go into the labor room. Yeah, my brother, this is what I'm saying, and this is what we need to, that's why we are fighting to actually expose some of these things. If the law said no and they refuse to accept the person, the hospital should be charged to court. You know the problem today. Let me tell you guys, the problem today is this. We have a very, very broken system. Okay, where the medical department, the legal department, the security department are actually the enemy of the people. The legal department, the health department, which is the medical department, the security department, these are the major 3 organs that actually controls a state or a nation. And these 3 groups are actually the enemy of the people. That's the problem we're having. If we actually have a sane society, this specialist hospital will be sued after the death of that very particular girl or boy, whatever, or a lady, and they will pay hell. If they pay such an amount twice, they will sit up. But because the legal department in Nigeria is corrupt, like the police, the medical department in Nigeria is corrupt, like the police. The police itself is corrupt, like the lawyers and the medical personnel. So nobody is there to actually look our back. Okay? That's the problem we're having. I've had a case. The lawyer told me to pay him 400,000 naira. And the actual cost of the whole case, of the thing that the man took from me, that I wanted to take the man to court for, was about 1.5 million. Both my expense and all. And you know what the court will do? The court doesn't grant you such an amount. I said, okay, no problem. Chuku, I said I have to pay him first. And I asked, what about if you lose the case? He said, then that is his charges. Anyways, they are terrible people. They don't care. They don't care. Mama, that's the truth, man. That's the truth. I think it's at time we need to expose the medical department, the medical branch, in Edo State. We need to start. We need to, as we are exposing the police, we need to start also exposing them. They are the worst. They are the worst. They are the worst. The medical department have killed more people than the police have done in our country. I can promise you that the medical department has killed more people than the police. They have killed more people than the police in our country. They have killed more people than the police in our country. We need to start speaking up. It's time. Let us not keep quiet. It's my motto. I want my children and my children to remember me for what I did while I was alive, when I had the opportunity. I wanted to see me as a man who fought for freedom of their people. If I keep quiet now, I don't see anything. Generations after me, we bear the bond of my silence. Yes, my brother, God bless you. God, I love this one. Hey, God bless you. So because of this negligence, our people resort to prayers in churches. Now prayer, we're going to pray. Because we don't have a system. That's why churches are flourishing. The tutor houses are flourishing. People blame pastors for opening churches. Why would you not open a church when the system has collapsed? Unity will not put our hope on this religion. A supernatural intervention to our cause, which something can be treated or can be dealt with naturally. Somebody having a kidney problem. You have to go to church. Like I told somebody, I said, if it was in Nigeria that my wife was sick, bros, don't forget her. She would have been dead by now. The system would have provided for us. Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello. Yeah, you want to contribute? Okay, let me put you on speaker. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The way you are putting efforts for this so anything 1 €5, €10, I donate. Now your partial example, we tell this one, I'm sure example, they will not stop this thing. In a way where Okona, the but I not sure example. What they were getting at the your efforts when we are you win. I saw you and I was a program since all those days. So Osaloba no yet in Osaloba Osaba Giawi could no milk could be Etinuya now Sabari and where I buy Wesi Kakabo, only water more my brother. You let him behind Tana because I will do six now, Unana, because you are home in Naija, no Denny. Omanangari, you know, all those things. I'm now involved because here I'm only. Our Kuri only have Papa, Ekina, Ekina, our money do anyway. I'm money do anyway. I need to take a sinner. Because the police got come and okay, police not going to where 12 years ago, or where 12 or 8 months, or where Yakman where 8 months. But the police in Manitoni were right what to see. My 8 months. So I don't know worry.
Only way, my brother, only way you may be a little bit worried now, okay. We're 8 months. Now, Autopsy came, now it's now we're 2 months, you know. Then you people just left the 8 months. That story that you people actually paddled for many days. You just left that story and you are not holding on to the one that is there now. Why don't ask what was the reason behind him? First of all, trying to deceive the police force from the truth.
Police force. Because we don't have police already but the police level already do state you any person have any case, I do state because the police were do state they are corrupt. I know my brother call.
Okay, Baba. God bless you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what they're fighting for now. That's what they're fighting for. Another autopsy for faith. That's what we're fighting for. That's what we're working for. That's what we're fighting for. That another autopsy for faith. Because the autopsy we are asking for is going to be when, how, and why. Another thing that we're going to request for the autopsy, that we're going to tell the doctor that we want to take is, did Faith had an abortion in April 2021? Because if she does, they can still find out. And if yes, was the abortion an 8-month-old abortion? Because we cannot just put some of these things under the carpet and allow it to just go like that. No. Because we also want to make Faith's mother, listen now, we also want to make Faith's mother to be liable if she is found guilty of aborting her 8-month-old pregnancy. Because it is tantamount to murder. I don't know if you can guess me now. So what we are doing is not to put the enoge in the hot seat or in the hot spot. What we are doing is to stop the unnecessary acrimonies and problems emanating from some of these things that's happening in our nation. So we are going to request for the autopsy to help us to find out if Faith actually had an abortion in April, based on the confession of the enoge to the police. And if yes, we want to know what if they can be able to find out for us how many months was the pregnancy that was carried out. So these are things we need to put into play in all this. That's why we'll not just back down right now. We will not back down on this and say, okay, it is natural death. Yeah, we know now, but we're going to go deep on some allegation that was revealed. Because if Faith's mother was actually guilty of her 8-month-old pregnancy, she needs to face the arms of the law, even whether Faith is dead or not. If not, if she isn't guilty, it was just an allegation leveled against her in order to turn the table against her, the enoge also needs to face the law for defamation of character, assassination of character, and misleading the police in actually doing their proper investigations. So you should realize why we are demanding for something independent without nobody having any stake in place. Thank you, guys. I need more, more very powerful contribution. This is becoming very interesting. When I'm with you guys, I feel a little bit very, very happy. I need more contribution on this. Okay, guys. So we would like to call it a day right now, and hopefully that we'll come back again if there are any more information to this. Let us know. My esteemed Naijawatch media team and the entire Naijawatch family that we are doing a good job. Okay, we are doing a good job, and the world is saying, the Edos are proud of us. Okay, and if you are not part of the Naijawatch family yet, please, Mommy Diaspora, can you just put the link, the WhatsApp number where we can actually, write to and ask to be added to the Naijawatch family WhatsApp group. Okay, guys, we are not part of it us yet. She's going to put up a WhatsApp a number now that you're going to I just say add me. You'll be added to that group. There we do discuss a lot of things. A lot of information are passed there for us to be able to know what to do to help Edo State great again. Okay, if you're watching me for the first time, please just press the subscription button. If you're watching me from the YouTube, press the subscription button and press the notification button and press all, so that anytime we are live, you get a notification immediately. And also, watch me from Facebook and from other media. Please just kindly follow me on this very particular Facebook page. There's Matagazimo Human Steven, Idema Steven, or the United States of Nigeria. You can get me also live. Okay, this is the Naijawatch WhatsApp number you can send a message to. Just send add me and with your name on your number, and you'll be added to the WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you all. Yes, Sister Imotinya, that's one of my greatest pain, man. That was my greatest pain. That's why I'm a little bit bleeding, because I knew what she went through. The day we went to her house, she was devastated. She wasn't crying about her daughter's death anymore. She was not crying about the allegation that been levied against her. You understand? That's what she was crying about. She was in pains. It took me about 2 hours to console her first before I could do my interview. It took me about 2 hours. Myself and the family, the Faith Aigbe brother, that one was yelling. It took us, myself and my team that went there, close to 2 hours to talk them down before we could do the interview on that day. That's to tell you the pains that the family went through as a result of the allegation that was leveled against them. It was painful, but yet we believe that God knows the best. Okay, guys? Please just do that quickly. Just add me to the group, and you will be added immediately to the Naijawatch family. And if you have any contribution to this show, we have 6 minutes to go right now. You can just call in. You can just call in, guys. That is the number you can call in there. Okay. We want to use the Naijawatch YouTube channels to make a difference. We want to make a difference in every aspect of the nation. Edo has been a great nation before the coming of the colonial masters, and we are known for uprightness. Okay, that's the truth. We are known for uprightness, and because of that, many of us want to make sure we rekindled that old, you know, beneath us. Want to make sure we go out of every form of corruption or whatever that has actually destroyed the fabric of our entity as a nation. And the only way we can do that is when people like you join us together to help us move forward. And thank God that we now have a platform that has taken up the responsibility, to become a voice in the wilderness, for our people. And such a voice must be heard and must be valued, and we on this part, on this team, we listen to people. We are not egoistic. We are not you know proud set of people. We listen to you. We are ready to, we are very quick at taking corrections if need arises, but all we just want to see a better Edo for all of us. That's our aims. That's our objectives. So that's what we are clamoring. We are asking you guys, let's join hands together. Thank God there is a platform that is yet now. We are not here for political correctness. We are not here for popularity contest, but we are here to actually make a name. That's why you see us. We go into every issues of life. Okay, I don't think you ever heard me come here to do saga. I don't think you ever seen Elvis doing saga on a show. I don't think you ever seen Pa Itro doing saga or Sakonokudin. Those people who you only see on our show, you only see us do saga, because what we believe in is constructive, delivery of information to our esteemed viewers who wants to actually get what is happening, behind the scene that they cannot actually know, without us not bringing it before them. So this is one hell of a team that cut across all the regions, in the world. So guys, let us join hands together. Let us support this team that will do more for you, in every ramification. Okay, and when the time comes for us to cry for assistance to actually carry on this autopsy, if the need for it is, we're going to call on you and want you to respond, and let's see that Faith Aigbe gets justice, that the Edo people get justice, that our ladies in Edo get justice, because they are always the victim. They are always the victim. The high rate of sexual molestation in Edo State. High rate of sexual molestation in Edo State. Our ladies are molested by our politicians. They are molested by our traditional institutions. They are molested by the big men, the bourgeois in our society. If you guys don't know, believe me right now, there's high level of molestation on the feminine gender. And maybe this case will not serve as a deterrent to so very many persons who feels they can kill a lady, dump her anywhere, and go scot-free. Because if we finally put this to a logical conclusion, many things that is happening in Edo State will start having a redefined, situation. Let me give an example, guys, for you to know what I'm talking about. When the case of Usiluneho came up, they ran to Naijawatch to air their view. And the moment the opposite side, led by Atma, heard that the Nogia had actually came, to Naijawatch to air his view, they also came out again to air their view. Now, this now put, in the public domain, two stories which the police will now use in doing their investigations. Because both of them have already confessed. That's a confession, because their face, everything was there. They were not under duress while they were being questioned. So that is, it's actually shaping the way things are going on in our dear state. Okay, guys, the land issue is dying today. We raised up a case of a boy, one of our brother who has a little level of deformity. As I speak to you today, his case is not being addressed. That all thanks to our effort in bringing normalcy to Edo State. Okay? Yes, my brother, this is what we want. We don't want Edo that work for all, not for the benefit of certain individuals. This is what we want. This is the Edo we are clamoring for. This is what we are clamoring for. This is what we are believing for. This is what we are hoping for. Edo where even the son, the daughter of a nobody, will have equal right, like the son of the bourgeois. You will not be respected because of what you actually, have, but you'll be respected because of what you can put on the table. That's the Edo we are asking for. There are many intelligent people in Edo today, but they are not heard because they don't have what it takes to show up in the society. We want an Edo whereby everyone is equal before the law. In Sweden here today, if a prime minister kills someone, he will go in for it. A commoner, he will go in for it. He can't escape justice. He can't escape justice. He will go in for it. That's the kind of country, what kind of state we want in our state right now. Like I said in my last video, guys, we in diaspora will start warming up. We need to take over the reign of power in that state. Many of us are wise. We are well informed. We need to take up the reign of power in that state. Come 2024 is our time to rule. Those in diaspora, it is our time to go back home and correct the mess. Because there is no place like home. Home is home anytime, any day. So let's go back home. Let's get prepared right now. Let's start doing a lot of negotiations within our brothers in diaspora, so that these issues that we are seeing today will not repeat itself again. We need a government that has a foresight. That has a foresight for tomorrow. That's what we are standing for. That's what we are working toward, to make sure that we change the narratives of things in our state. And I know we can. Somebody say we can. Let me hear somebody say we can. Put it on your comment section. Say we can. I know we can. Definitely we can. If only this unity we are building we grow stronger and stronger by the day. Let us not give up on this. I know listen guys, many people who do not want this unity to stand will come. Hello?
My brother,
okay.
From IT,
okay.
Now, a police, we won't run away. The hospital when I register or we won't when or different when we might register one way for or mama for 8 months. Those the policemen know where the hospital when I register, we have been one register, they Google register again.
Yeah, all these questions, that's what we're asking. We'll ask all these questions. Continue asking all these questions, sir.
Now, we might register, we might register, then you come in after that, the register one, the register again, now we're or 8 months pregnancy. Okay, be hospital. I know my brother, while policeman, police are just after money. That is one thing. After money, ITV after money, EBS after money, they can do what they do anything. My brother.
Okay, sir. Okay. So guys, you know, you just asked a question. Why would the police not ask him which hospital? We said that before, and we'll continue to say that. We'll continue to do this. And you know, we now have a program we said we'll call question and answer with humanitarian on how to make Edo State good again. So, like I said, we're going to be doing it once in a week. That program is going to be every Wednesday of the week. Every Wednesday of the week, 7 p.m. in the evening. Question and answer is a 3-hour program. 3 hours stress program. Okay, so get prepared for the next episode that will be coming. Episode 2 that will be coming up next week. It will be Wednesday next week. You know, and we're going to come here again and come with a lot of questions. Please, the next one we are coming in, let's try as much as people to come in with so much question that we'll get prepared so we can be able to have a lot to discuss. Okay, we have question and answer. You know, these are some of the questions we need to bring up. What is the possible way out? And also, if you have a contribution, please look, because it's going to be it's already an organic discussion. You know, between us. You know, as Edos, the way we can move our state forward. That's what we need to start thinking now. Like I'm already talking of with the diaspora taking over the reign of government in Edo State, taken over by diasporas. That's just the only way out. That is the take. And I'm very sure every Naijawatch family agrees with me on this. Because I know we can. I believe we can. I am certain that we can. We have what it takes. There are Edos all over the world. Dr. Osamuyi in the US is an example. Our brother, Inspector Asemota in Canada is an example. Many others are those who have done greatly well in every ramifications. These are examples of people we can actually hand over the day-to-day piloting of the affair of Edo State into their hands. The cross of politicians we have in Nigeria today, who are from the Edo extraction, they are the problem of the state. They are criminally minded. They are politically bankrupt. They are morally deficient. That is why they have nothing to offer. Since we have been able to prove in 2020 that we have the capability and the ability to change the narratives of what is happening in our state as a result of our support for the incumbent governor, we can also channel the same power among ourselves within the diasporas to bring out a candidate that we know will stand for the progress and the development of our state. Yesterday, I was listening to one of these British guys talking about our artifact. I was babosed. Let me see if I'm going to get the video, guys. Let me see where the video is. I'm going to play it for you before I go. This is not part of it, but I just want to say this. Why we actually need to listen. I'm going to play this for you now. Let me see if I can get that video, whether it's on this phone or the other phone. Please just give me a minute. Let me see if I can get that video. Yeah, it's on this one. It's a 2-minute video. I'm not going to show it because it is against the rules. There's already a copyright, but you can listen to this video a little bit.
Properly reside in the British Museum. Now, that doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't work with the government in Nigeria to see how we can share it with them.
Forgive me, and I understand sharing.
Yeah, this now.
They were stolen. Do you not think that they should be owned by the people that they were stolen from in the first place?
Well, I think that the problem with this, and of course, if we go back to things that happened in the 19th century and judge them by our values of today, it's completely unacceptable. But my concern about this is, where do you actually draw the line with this? The collections of our great national institutions.
Now, you see that now? You see that now? You see that? They were saying they are not ready to give it out. He was saying, he said, do you know how important it is to have those artifacts in the British Royal Museum? The white men are fighting. They are fighting toothlessly to hold on to our heritage. And we are destroying our own heritage to pick their own inferior heritage. We need an Edo man that can restore the glory of the great Benin Empire. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all for your time. God bless you, every one of you. Quick one, let me check this. God bless you. If I have any questions on this phone, God bless you, every one of you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, every one of you. God bless you guys. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in my next video. I'm going to analyze that video, in my next video. I'm going to analyze that video maybe tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. We need an independent autopsy for Faith Aigbe to ascertain when, how, and why. Please, I want you also type when, how, and why. 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 That's what we need. When, how, and why. When, how, and why. We want to get this done. When, how, and why. When, how, and why. This is what we want. When. They should be able to tell us these three things. When, how, and why. So these three works together. When, how, and why. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Have a very blessed afternoon. Bye for now until we see you again.